Good evening, Rockets fans. Today we're going to be talking about Rockets versus the Wizards. We had a great win, slow start, but let's get right into it, y'all. The Rockets are 6-0 when Jalen Green scores 30 points or more. To all those people that were screaming earlier on in Jalen Green's career, empty calorie points. Those guys are eating crow. Shout out to Jalen Green, man. You learned how to use your efficiency and your point scoring for the betterment of the team. And hey, man, Michael Jordan. Not to compare you to Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan, he was a scorer. He was one of those people that they considered empty calorie scorers at one point in time, and then he transitioned to make it for the team betterment, so his team can ultimately succeed off of the things that he's doing, man. So you're going in the right direction, man. I'm loving to see your game, man. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. The Wizards. I want to talk to the front office team and the Wizards. This guy Kispert, man, I'm not sure if this was the best game of his life or he was just balling out of control against us. But y'all might want to keep him around, man, because he seems like a solid player. He seems like he could play. So my 2 cents on that. Number 24, Kispert for the Wizards. Dude seems like he could play, man. Y'all definitely may want to keep this guy around, man. I'm not sure if it was a big moment playing against us, but hey, he definitely showed that he could play. So do with that what y'all will. Keeping it in the second quarter, there was a lot of blown layups, man. Lot of blown layups. We I mean, there's nothing that you could really point to. You could say Mike and drill, but yeah, man, we gotta focus, man. We gotta make layups, man. We gotta make the easy ones before we can get to the hard ones. It's baby steps. You gotta crawl before you can run. Sayings like that, man. Those are just the things that just come to mind. But it was way too many layups, man, and that was a big part of why we struggled in the first half. Missed layups. But to get onto a positive note, my guy Jayshawn Tate, player of the game, goes to Jayshawn Tate, man. Plays like this right here. Jayshawn drew the charge, and you're not going to be able to block every shot. I was saying this last year, especially against this guy right here, Alex Sarr. You're not going to be able to block his shot 9 times out of 10, but you could always take a charge. You could always get a rebound. You can always play solid defense, and that was showcased right here. Also, I want to talk about the player of the game aspect. I'm not going to always give it to the highest scoring member of the team. I'm not going to always give it to the person that because then it would either be Alfred Sengun or it would be Jalen Green almost every night if it isn't Amen Thompson's of the world having a spectacular game. I want to give the flowers to the players that are showcasing and letting everybody know that they are on the team as well and that they are contributing in a major way. Jayshawn Tate, not only in this play but through this entire season, has been playing phenomenal. Got the charge here on this play, but he's making timely shots. He's mucking the game up. He's doing all of the things that we're missing from Tari Eason. And I, again, want to give a man his flowers. I was critical on him last year, but like I say to all the Rockets players, I'm y'all's biggest critic, but I'm also y'all's biggest fan, and I'm always going to have y'all's back, man, especially when it feel like the world is against y'all. It's not that the world is against y'all now, but I'm always going to take a step back and say, especially to the people that I was hard on, I'm gonna scream the same way and give these guys their flowers, man. So shout out to Jayshawn Tate, man. Don't get a lot of minutes. You don't get a lot of times to showcase your abilities, man. But when you do, I want to make sure that you get your flowers. Third quarter, Jalen Green, man, cold in the first half, man. Cold in the first half. Couldn't hit anything from the three-point line, but you came alive at the end of the first half with that buzzer beater shot. And then you came and, man, you're a 3-level scorer. When you are on, it's very hard to stop us, man. Like I said it earlier in this video, when you score 30 points or more, we're 6-0. But it's not we trying to get the ball to you every single time down. No, it's timely shots. You're putting up shots when we need it. And then when you get hot, it's just the straw that breaks the camel's back, so to speak. So, yeah, man. Jalen, shout out to you. Shout out to Alfred and Sengun for having a great game as well. We'll get into Alfred and Sengun a little later. But the 3-level scorer that is Jalen Green, man, keep it going. Keep taking the next step. Keep expanding your game. Wizards fell apart in the third quarter. Either the Wizards fell apart, but I think it was more of a combination of them falling apart and finally we starting to click on all cylinders. I've been calling for since this last video that I want to see Alfred Sengun and Jalen Green get on target, on fire, all in the same game and see where the chips fall. They answered that call in the second half of this game. We're going to need it the next game against the Grizzlies. This is a very critical game. They are the three seeds so far in the Western Conference, and this will be a very good opportunity for us to create a gap in the standings so that we have some leeway, because we're going to have some games where we falter. We're going to have some games where we lose, and we don't want to be in a position where we lose our great seeding and our great placement in the Western Conference, missing 1 or 2 games. So let's not make this a tight race. Let's try to gain some of this. Let's try to gain some of these game backs that we got on that OKC has on us, I should say. Because if they lose 1 or 2 games, they're set. So let's be up there in between 3 and 1. And let's have some space and some comfort, man. If we have a bad game, we're able to bounce back. Alfred Sengun, I think that you definitely heard the calling. I was talking about expanding your game, man. Getting that Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway shot, using that to your game and bringing it out to where it's more of an 18-footer, 12-footer, elbow jumper, things like that. Shots along the baseline. And you seem to have answered that call, especially with this highlight. You were going back and forth with Jonas Valanciunas. To be honest, man, this guy, Jonas Valanciunas, has given us a problem, especially when he was in Toronto. I definitely know his game because he used to give us a lot of problems. You know, maybe not so much on the Wizards now, but he's definitely a player. And I'm loving to see Alfred Sengun go back and forth with him and working on your game all at the same time. It's all healthy competition. So shout out to Alfred Sengun for that, man. And I'll see you guys next game. We're going to play against the Memphis Grizzlies. I want us to see us get a win. I want us to create some separation, y'all. Peace. I'm trying to famous. Ooh, I'm trying to famous.